So hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Question Block. And the last question was, if Nintendo were to make another Pikmin spin-off, what would it be? So we've had a couple Pikmin spin-offs so far, with one being Hey Pikmin that wasn't really received well. Well, I mean, it's an RSS game. And then there's Pikmin Bloom, which was a fun little side mobile game. And yeah, now that we've gotten Pikmin 4, I hope that Nintendo makes more mainline Pikmin games. So it would be nice to see some more interesting side projects along with that, as long as they keep up with the mainline games more frequently. So I'm gonna read the responses and discuss them in this video. So Weenie said, a silent 3D adventure game, similar in tone to something like Inside or Ori, where you play as a single Pikmin whose entire clan was lost in battle. He sits in the onion alone, contemplating the loss of is all he's ever known. Eventually, this Pikmin reaches a low point and decides he doesn't want to live in misery for the rest of his life, so he embarks on a mysterious and dangerous journey to find more Pikmin to call his family. That's pretty interesting. I really like that concept. And, yeah, the gameplay itself would be focused on stealth and puzzle solving. Yeah, I think that would be really interesting. Like, if you could choose... I have an idea, like, with that concept. What if you could, like, choose your Pikmin type, and that will kind of determine, like, how different, like, obstacles and different things will be. Or they could even be, like, different, modes with different Pikmin types. But I think that would be pretty interesting, and I think that would definitely, be pretty interesting how they'd handle that. Or you could unlock different Pikmin types if you, like, find a Pikmin or something. Like, you could start off as a red and kind of, like, have different, like, fire hazards and then, like, avoid things like water and electricity. I think that would be pretty interesting, and yeah, that's definitely a pretty interesting idea. And the story side of it also seems pretty cool as well. So, Why We Pikmin said, I'd like to see a park builder based around Hey Pikmin's Park. You care for a garden and added commodities to attract and house Pikmin. Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. You could kind of have more of, like a simulation type game where you can kind of care for a park, like add different little things to it. Like you could like collect things like sparklium. I guess that's technically like the energy source that's in both Hey Pikmin and Pikmin 4. So I think that would be cool if you could kind of like collect that in some way. You can get different Pikmin and have them do things to get um more sparklium, the add things around the park, but the gameplay would mostly be based around the park and getting Pikmin and kind of managing different things within that park. Maybe you could even get the Pikmin that kind of run different things within the park, or get things that would attract different Pikmin and different things like that. But yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting idea to have more of like a simulation type game with the Pikmin theme and everything. So, Rich Mountain 112 said, probably a Mario Kart DLC, which adds a Pikmin track and maybe Olimar. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of potential for a Pikmin track, kind of get that environmental type area, like something like the Forest of Hope would be nice to see. Just like with all of that, like natural environments, like with all of the plants and leaves and things, maybe have different like enemies around, like a burrowing Snagret or a Bulborb, like a few of those things, as enemies, like throughout the area. I think that would be nice, and it would definitely add variety to the track. And yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting overall. You could include like a lot of the Pikmin icons and everything. So yeah, I think that would be really nice to have a Pikmin themed track. And then yeah, Olimar would be a nice character. It would even be cool if you could like have Olimar, and then when you choose them you actually have a choice between the different captains to play as, like Louis or Alf, Brittany, or Charlie. I think that would be really cool, or the president as well. So I think that would be really cool if you could kind of like play as those different characters, like kind of as basically like skins for Olimar. You could kind of choose those on there, but I mean, at least Olimar would be cool. I know for Mario Kart characters, I'd mostly want to see characters from the extended Mario universe, rather than ones from, like, other Nintendo series or other series in general. But I would really like Pikmin representation, because I feel like some of the characters would fit in fairly well with Mario and everything. I mean, even though the environments don't really feel like, I mean, they would kind of fit in Mario Kart 8. Like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they would definitely... Or another Mario Kart game in the future that would keep that realistic style. A Pikmin track would work with that, but, like, some of the character designs would fit in well with the Mario Kart roster. But yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. So, Jax the Epic said, Oatchi Pet, a game where you take care of Oatchi. It's just like Nintendogs. The game has a different space dogs and breeds you could choose. Yeah, like you could have Oatchi or the evil one, Moss. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. You can get Oatchi to do different things, since Oatchi has like a bunch of different abilities and things in Pikmin 4. So in this Oatchi pet game, like with this pet simulator, like maybe Oatchi could do different tricks and like do different things like that, or you could take care of Oatchi, make sure to get Oatchi food and water and things, and then maybe customize Oatchi's living space, kind of. Maybe he can live in kind of like a natural area. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe he could like play around with Pikmin and kind of give Pikmin rides around the little area there. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would be cute. You could choose between like Oatchi or different colors, or moss as well. Like I said, and then I think it would be cool, like not just Oatchi, but imagine if there was like there were like different like types of Nintendo dogs, like Poochie and the dog from Mario Odyssey, or the dog from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I think that would be pretty cool if there were like different dogs from Nintendo games. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. But like the Oatchi idea sounds pretty cute as like a Pikmin spin-off specifically. So Wario Guy said, a tower defense game where the Pikmin are the units, maybe similar to Bloons games, where whites would blurt poison, if you chain enough yellows it would make a current, ice would slow them down, rocks would fall on them. It might be a mobile game, but I could see it working on a console. Yeah, I think Pikmin would work really well as a tower defense game. Like, due to the fact that Pikmin is already based on real-time strategy, I think, like, different elements of Pikmin could work pretty well in the tower defense game. They could even make it, like, control in 3D and everything, like, the normal Pikmin games, but you kind of control the Pikmin slightly differently to, use them as different units and everything. But, yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting. Like you said, the different Pikmin types have a lot of potential to work in different ways and everything. So I think that would be pretty cool. And there could even be like a thing where if you use different Pikmin types together, they could have like an interesting effect or something like that. Um, like, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, if you could have, like, ice Pikmin and rock Pikmin, like, you could have, like, ice rocks that fall down, well, ice and rock Pikmin kind of, like, holding on to each other, creating, like, a thing. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, a Pikmin tower defense game could definitely work. So, Doctario Mystario said, a Koei Tecmo game, or style Warriors game. The twist could be that there's a massive army that's on your side. Yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting. Like, rather than fighting a massive army of enemies, you'd just have the Pikmin all with you, and then you would fight, like, these larger enemies, like Bulborbs, or, Emperor Ballblacks, like any of the other, Pikmin enemies, bosses, and things like that. I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, there could be, like, a few different, large enemies and everything, like, there could be, like, let's say in one of the levels, there could be, like, maybe, since you'd have, like, a bunch of Pikmin on your side, and then this would be more of a action-style game, so it would work kind of differently. You could take on, like, a few different Bulborbs or Ball Bears at a time, I think that would be pretty cool. And yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for like an action warriors style Pikmin game, or a Pikmin spin-off at least. Since it's all about like fighting massive massive amounts of enemies, I think they could kind of spin that on its head with Pikmin and kind of do the opposite. So I think that would be pretty cool. So, Fluffy Digby said, honestly, as unlikely as it is, I'd love for another Pikmin spin-off to be the Chibi-Robo and Pikmin crossover that they said they'd be open to in interviews for Chibi-Robo Ziplash around 2015. Chibi-Robo is a series that means a lot to me, so I'd even if take it if Skip is gone now. Even before I recently gotten into Pikmin, I could see the similarities between both series. While both series are different in gameplay, a spin-off could use both. So I'd want it to be similar to how Pikmin 2 handles Olimar and Louie being controlled separately. Another reason I also think they blend well is Chibi-Robo has the cutesy factor like Pikmin does. Overall though, it's mostly a pipeline dream, but I do hope that someday the little guy can get the spotlight he deserves again, and this opportunity of a nice fitting crossover. Yeah, Pikmin and Chibi-Robo are kind of similar in a lot of ways. Like, one is due to the fact that they're both small. They're both, like, canonically small characters, and the environments are, like, large, and I mean, some of the Chibi-Robo environments are kind of similar to Pikmin. I mean, they kind of do crossover, and so, like, sometimes, like, Chibi-Robo has Park Patrol where it goes into the more environmental side, and then Pikmin sometimes goes more into like the um, building um, building type sides in like Pikmin 2's caves and Pikmin 3's like challenge modes, and well missions and everything. So yeah, I think they could definitely work since their styles do overlap quite a bit. So I think it would definitely work if there was a spin-off of some sorts. Like, like you said, like there could be like two different characters. Like one could be a captain like Olimar or Louie, and then the other could be Chibi-Robo. So I think that would be pretty cool. Like Chibi-Robo could be more of like imagine like if Chibi-Robo could like still hold some Pikmin or still control some Pikmin, but not as many. But on the other hand, like he kind of is able to do more action type moves, but still there's the element of Chibi-Robo where you have to like plug in, and then recharge. So I think that would be cool if there were like two different gameplay styles when switching between the characters. But I think that would be pretty interesting overall. But yeah, so Jack Attack Gaming said, I'm just spitballing ideas here, but a Metroidvania, unlike Hey Pikmin, though that game never happened. Yeah, I think it would be pretty interesting to see, like, a Metroidvania Pikmin game. Like, imagine if you're kind of going through, like, these large, open areas, like, either in 2D or 3D, um, and you could find different Pikmin, and then you could kind of use, or you could find new Pikmin types in certain areas that I know you kind of already do that in most Pikmin games. You use a Pikmin type to get over to another area, but I mean in a more confined space, like in a more open area, or I guess like one where you don't really have to bring or you don't have as many specific tasks. It would be more like Hey Pikmin, where you're kind of in a linear type progression, kind of like that, unless it's not really like Hey Pikmin, where it's not like a single level that you have to go through. It's like more of like branching paths and things that you have to find. So it would be kind of like something in between Hey Pikmin and mainline Pikmin, but it would also be kind of more like a Metroidvania. But yeah, that spin-off idea does kind of sound interesting. But yeah, so the next question is, what would you consider the golden age and dark age of the Mario franchise? So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server if you want to. Goodbye.